Hey guys, welcome back to our channel, where we are dedicated to exploring the fascinating world of 11 plus non-verbal reasoning. And today we'll be focusing on matrices. And this is where we're going to be diving into patterns and relationships hidden within different shapes. So what are matrices? Well, in this video, we're going to be given 3 shapes. And they all have something in common, and you must find the shape which completes the pattern. So the reason shapes are similar might be to do with the position, reflection, rotation, or even shading. And this is all to do with the number of shapes a figure is made of. So let's take a look at this example here. The large square on the left of the page contains smaller squares that form a pattern. So we now have to choose one of the 4 shapes that will replace the question mark to complete the pattern. What could it possibly be? Well, the matrix contains 3 black block arrows, each pointing away from the center diagonally. So we need to find a 4th which points diagonally to the bottom and to the right. So both C and D point in the right direction, but only C touches the correct border. So for that reason, our answer is C. And again, as you can see, these are the borders that it must touch. Beautiful work. Let's now dive into question 1. So what do we notice about these shapes here? The shapes in the top 2 figures simply swap places from front to back. And they also shift from the top of the box to the bottom. So where the white was at the bottom, it's now at the top. And where the black shape was at the top, it's now at the bottom. So we are looking for a curved shape with vertical rainfall shading. As you can see, the white image imitates rainfall. So what works for this? Well, instantly we can see that B would work for this. And that's because it's not only pushed to the top, but it's also the same shape as the one given on the bottom left, unlike the others. Okay, let's move on into question 3. So what do we notice in the top 2 figures of the shape? Well, what we can see here is that the figures of the shapes stay the same, but the shadings rotate clockwise. So where you see the shading on the top, it now is on the bottom. So the top becomes the right and the right becomes the left. So again, if we look closer, this is your top. It will now move into this position and that is your right. So what can we see about box A? Well, box A has bubbled shading, so that wouldn't be correct. So we can cross that out right away. While box B has brick shading, and that would make it incorrect too. So what do we notice about box C and box D? Well, by taking a further look here, we instantly know that box C would work because box D has 2 sides that are the same. So that there is the answer. Okay, let's go for question number 4. Okay, so what do we notice here? Well, we see a rectangle with a dot in the first figure. And then it has a diagonal rectangle placed over it in the second. And that rectangle then has a smaller rectangle placed over it, but not over the first. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a long, thin C shape with a diagonal C shape over it. Again, you can see that B, C, and D does this. So we can eliminate A. And a smaller C shape just over the second. So again, as you can see, this smaller rectangle is not going over the first shape. So our small C shape should not go over the first shape. So firstly, we can eliminate C because it's not going over the diagonal C shape at all. And we can eliminate D because it's going over neither of the C shapes. So our answer is B, as this goes just over the diagonal C shape. Beautiful. Okay, let's go over to question 5 here. Now remember, you can pause the video at any given time, attempt the question, and then press play when you're ready to go. So what do we notice? Well, the square becomes a square surrounded by 4 pentagons. So the pattern is to use the number of lines in the main shape to decide how many surrounding shapes to use, and then to make those shapes with more lines than the main shape. So using this pattern, what do we need? Well, you can see we've got 3 sides of the triangle. So we need 3 shapes to surround the triangle. You can see A and C do this, so we can eliminate B and D. And the surrounding shapes need 1 more side than the main shape. So we're looking for 3 squares, and only A works that way. So I hope you got the hang of that. Let's move over to the next question. So what do we notice about these 4 shapes here? Well, let's start with the top left. And you can see that the 4 shapes are rotated 1/4 turn to the right, and they keep their original shading. So again, you can see that's all rotating 1/4 turn to the right. So we are looking for a cross with a check in the top left-hand corner. Again, you can see that that's the cross check, and we can see that A and C both do this. So we can eliminate D and B. And all 4 shapes in the figure with different shadings from each other. And you can see that A is the only one that does this, as C has 2 that are the same. Phenomenal. Okay, question number 6. What do we notice with these 4 figures? Well, instantly we can see that they are reflections of each other, vertically and horizontally. So we need to look for an L shape in the top right-hand corner of the box. And if you see, D is the only one that works. That was a nice and easy one. Okay, let's go for question number 7. So with 7, instantly we can look at the top 2 figures, and they are reflections of one another. But they are also inverted, which means they are turned upside down. So we are looking for a horizontal line, which again would be B, C, or D. So we can eliminate A. And it should have 2 diagonal lines pointing towards the center. So which 2 lines point towards the center? Well, that could be B or C. So we can eliminate D. And then finally, we're looking for the 2 small circular shapes that are inverted. It can be a little bit tricky, but look at the direction of these. And you can see B is the only one that does that. And that there is your answer. So it's always important to stop, analyze, and even try to sketch out if it's needed. And always try to prove to yourself how you got this answer. Okay, question number 8. Right, so let's take a look at this gray arrow. You can see it's got a black outline, but this time when it moves to the right-hand side, the colors swap and they're reversed. So we need to find 2 curved arrows pointing to the right, which again, we know that. So we need to find 2 curved arrows, which is A, B, and C, but they should be pointing to the right. So again, that eliminates A. And we need gray shadings and black outlines. So again, that would be B. So let's pause there for a second. Let's take a look at what I've done. Well, I've started from the left-hand side and I've taken a look at the change that it makes. I then go ahead and reciprocate this for the bottom shape we're looking for. We know 1 shape becomes 2, so straight away I can eliminate D. But then the position of this should also change from left to right. So then I know that we have 2 arrows, which was A, B, and C, but then they should be pointing to the right. So I've also eliminated A. And then I've taken a look at the shadings. Where the shading was black, it should now be gray. And where the outline was gray, it should now be black. Hence, our answer is B. Amazing. Let's go for question 9. Ooh, we've got a brick-shaped T here. And what's happening to the figure? It looks as if it's moving around the matrix clockwise. In the top left box is at the top, and in the top right, it's on the right, and so on. So we're looking for a T-shaped object on the bottom. So again, that should be in this format. So straight away, we can eliminate C and A. Now, the C shape also rotates 1/4 turn each time, so we're looking for a C shape with its two ends pointing up, just like this. And that imitates B. Marvelous work. And over to our final question. So what can we tell about these curved line arrow shapes? Well, it looks as if they're pointing to the center. So what does that tell us? Well, we know that all of them are typically pointing to the center, but it should be forming from the right-hand side. So we can eliminate A and we can eliminate D. And then the straight lines with diamonds on their ends are moving clockwise around the matrix. So that way, we know that it's going to be pointing to the left. And only C does that. And that there is your answer. And that concludes today's journey into the realm of 11+ reasoning matrices. We hope you found this video enlightening and informative. And remember, mastering the art of matrix-based reasoning can greatly enhance your problem-solving skills. I hope this video was useful. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.